Today, I decided to go back to Morikami Gardens in Delray. Japanese Garden, a place of serenity and, well, a place that I used to like to go a lot. I was there on Sunday, and something was missing. I bought my ticket, walked inside, and, well, just like on Sunday, the entryway was the same. Calm, peaceful, overlooking the lake. Stay on the path. And that's exactly what I was going to do. I was going to get to the bottom of this mystery. One of the most peaceful places in the garden was Morikami Falls. Man-made, yes, but very peaceful. The running water, the sound of nature. And if you visit the park during the week, you'll be free of listening to the sound of stroller wheels carving their way through the pea gravel. And just for a moment, only a moment, you can pretend you're somewhere else. It won't quite feel like Japan, but you won't feel like you're stuck in the middle of Boca. Morikami Gardens opened in 1977, and ever since then it's been a center for Japanese arts and culture here in South Florida. In the early 1900s, a group of young Japanese farmers arrived in this area and began to colonize it and grow crops. Much of the land then was seized by the United States government during World War II, and by the 1970s, most of the remaining settlers had gone back to Japan. However, Mr. Morikami stayed. By then, he was well into his 80s and decided to donate the land to Palm Beach County, and hopefully preserving it. Throughout the park, there are several of these Japanese-style facades. You can sit on the bench and relax, or take a photo. There are water features throughout the garden, and those are a great place to sit down and clear your mind. And now, it's off to see my main man, Buddha. And one of the most interesting things in the park, the bonsai garden. Bonsais are amazing. Some of these trees are well over 100 years old. When Mr. Morikami died in 1976 at the age of 89, half of his ashes were sent home to Japan, and the other half, well, they sit in a sealed container for 13 years in a storage room with other personal effects. And in 1989, he was given a proper resting place beneath this memorial. In the heart of the garden is the Yamato Kan. Yamato meaning great peace, Kan means building. This roughly 2,000 square foot structure was the original museum that was built in 1977. Being an architectural photographer, I've always had a love for Japanese style buildings and the curve of the eaves. And besides going to a Japanese garden, the only place to see architecture like this in South Florida is one home that I shot in Manalapan, and the second being Benihana. The great mystery of why I was here today is slowly beginning to take form. The rice paper windows had been replaced by hurricane impact resistant glass. In 2022, every shred of the old museum was gutted. No more classroom, no more subway car, no more anything. The only thing that remained was flat screens, as if we need to sit and watch more TV. The mystery was finally solved. Every shred of Japanese culture had been removed. The only thing left was videos and a few still photographs. The tea rooms looked like Barbie houses, completely unauthentic. They didn't feel right. It didn't smell right. Morikami Museum, in my eyes, had died. The one thing that did remain, and it may have been a builder oversight, was the squeaking footboards that notified someone that a ninja had just climbed over the wall and that they needed to be prepared for an attack. Having solved the mystery of why my Sunday felt weird, I had had enough. It was time to go get a beer and a dumpling and digest what I had just seen. One thing that you will notice throughout the park, there are placards of remembrance everywhere. It seemed like a graveyard more than a Japanese garden. One of the most beautiful things in the garden was this tree. I sat and looked at this tree for quite a while. It was a cool tree. It was evident to me that almost every shred of yesteryear had been removed and replaced for something new, but certainly not better. I had conversations with several people, staff included, while I was there, and many of them felt the same. The romantic charm that used to be Morikami was gone. The theater, however, does play fantastic foreign movies that are worth a watch. The one area that hadn't changed was the art exhibition in the museum. They have been, and probably always will be, fantastic. Different mediums, paper, steel, glass, pottery, incredibly talented artists on display, and probably worth the admission price on its own. My tour of understanding Morikami Gardens was coming to a close, but I still wanted that beer and I still wanted that dumpling. And I guess my last area of concern was not a single chopstick in sight. Forks. And to me, from a nostalgia standpoint, try a chopstick. Try something new. Try something different. Don't get me wrong, Morikami Gardens is a great place to spend a few hours walking around. It's just gotten, well, less Japanesey.